recording this as always. So what is up, everybody? What is up? It is Wednesday, November 25th, and this is our first live trading session of the week. So we are shifting some things around, doing some updates. So just keep checking the Discord for the updates and everything like that. But this is going to be our only live session this week. In these live sessions, we just cover all the pairs that we're looking at for today. So we'll look for some trades to potentially take for today. And we'll let you guys know our key levels, where we're looking for potential entries. We'll talk about structure and how we look at structure on multiple time frames. And we'll just do our top-down analysis. So we're going to start on the monthly time frame, and then we're going to work our way down. So we're going to get started with DXY. So DXY, for those that don't know, is just the dollar index. So this just shows us the value of the US dollar. So in trading all the major pairs, it's a good indicator to use, or not indicator, but just confirmation to use this in showing whether these other pairs, where they're going to move. So let's just start up on the monthly time frame. So DXY has obviously been very bearish, for quite some time here. We've got the moving averages crossing here to the downside. Everything's pointing down right now. We've got Nick joining up. We get him unmuted. What's up, dude?
What's good? What's good?
What's up? What's up? And just
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Happy Wednesday.
Happy fucking Wednesday. I'm just going over good old DXY.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
So this thing's obviously very, very bearish right now. Monthly time frame, forming this evening star. We do have this level of support that we are about to test right now, based on this weekly time frame. So as we can see here, price came down, moved off, price came down, moved off. So we're looking to see how it reacts to this zone. If this thing can close in 5 days as an evening star, then it just confirms even more. I think this thing will most likely continue to push down. So that's all the way up on the weekly time frame or the monthly. As we go down to the weekly, same thing, very bearish, below the moving averages, had this bearish engulfing candle. So again, just hitting a low, coming into the support level right now. Let's go down to the daily. All right, so daily time frame, same thing. We're just monitoring this level that it's coming to right around 92, right around here. So this is the level that it's hitting right now. Could we see some sort of pullback? Sure. This thing is at a low on this daily time frame. As you can see, this thing has pulled back fairly aggressively previously, all the way up to this level, testing these highs. So this thing could pull all the way back up, but we're not going to, we're not going to talk about that until we see some sort of reasoning to start pulling back. As we see here, had this bullish engulfing, pulled back into the moving averages. Here we had this bullish engulfing, ended up pulling all the way through. So right now, yesterday closed bearish engulfing. So this thing is just bearish all the way. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we've got this high down to this low right here, came up 50% level, pushed back down to zero right now. Then it just pulled back. So I'm going to mark right here. We've got, this is our 4-hour level that we're looking at. So this is 4-hour structure right here. As long as we're below this level, guys, we're looking for sells below this area. So all the way down to the 30-minute time frame, look for potential opportunities on this. Yesterday, it looks like we had this pullback, this bearish engulfing through the moving average right here. This would have been a nice little entry here when it went up, good amount. So right now, what we're seeing is another pullback as we I'm going to come up to this 1-hour time frame right here. So we're pulling back right now. Just had this bearish engulfing on the 1-hour, but ideally we come back to around this like 200-day area and look for entries because there'll be more confirmation there. So looking for this thing to pull back a little bit more before looking for more short opportunities. As you can see on this 1 hour, we've got the moving averages crossing right there. So DXY is just bearish all the way, guys. No actual trades on this, but just get an idea of this thing could push up and then push down. So keep that in mind as we start to look at these other pairs. If USD starts to push up, what does that mean for these other pairs? So let's look at USEF. USEF's looking pretty solid right now. So let's go up to the monthly time frame. Let's take this off right here. Leave that on, take this off. So on the monthly time frame on USEF, as we can see, we're hitting this support level right here, had this bullish engulfing candle, but we're still below moving averages. We're starting to get some wicks though, off of that support level. So down to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, we've got price just hitting a low point right now, still overall very much bearish. And we just formed this like spinning top, this doji at this like pullback at this high point. So we're testing the moving averages right now. This thing certainly could dump back down into this level, which is about 60 pips away. So let's just go down to the daily time frame. So daily time frame, I'm just going to bring on my fibs from this high all the way to this low. So we pulled back to 61.8 right here, pushed down, pulled back 38.2, pushed down. So this is just where we're looking at structure on this daily time frame right here. And then we're pulling back again, retesting this trend line, retesting this 38.2 area. So we were saying below this daily level, we're looking for sells, and we're just getting a lot of consolidation in here. So let's just go down to the 1 hour and take a look as to what the hell is going on here. So look at this on the 1 hour, guys. This is just all over the place. Nothing really that we can look at on this time frame. So I'm going to bump up to the 4 hour, and 4 hour time frame is still telling us to be bearish on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fib off, and we're going to focus on this 4 hour time frame. I'm just going to fib from this high right here to this low. So we've got came all the way back up to 88.6, then we pushed down. Now we're testing this 61.8 level. We're getting at this level, we had first off, we had this whole push. So that's rejection there. Then we pump back up, and then we had this evening star here, and we're getting another bearish variation right here. If we bump down to the 30-minute, as we can see on the 30-minute, this is just forming lower high. So we had this low, this lower high, then we retested this low, another lower high right here. So on USEF, guys, if I were to, we were in on this earlier this week, had a little short opportunity into this level, got into some profits, and then it shot all the way back up. So I'm looking to get into this again, guys, and I'm looking to short this. This would be the idea for the trade. I would put my stops conservatively, like right around 25, and then, or aggressively more around 25, and then more conservatively around like 35 pips or so. And then we're bumping up to the 4 hour time frame, like we talked about. We're targeting this low, so we're targeting around 60 pips. I would even target probably around this level, the middle of this monthly zone right here. And then as you can see, the risk reward is still pretty good for that conservative stop loss, for our stops being that wide. So this is the trade idea on USEF right now, guys. Looking to short this. I'm going to leave this one up on the list, and I'll post analysis on this inside of the group, inside of this premium analysis. And then when we get a potential signal, as you can see earlier this week, was trying to sell USEF, trying to sell it again. So I'll post some trades in here when they're ready. So that's USEF. Let's go over to NU. This thing is just climbing higher and higher. So let's go all the way up to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly, this thing is, look where we're at. So we're all the way at this high, moving averages crossed. So buyers are in control. Where is the next level that we could potentially come to and find resistance is going to be all the way. I'm just going to actually bring on this next key level. So as price moves above these key levels, guys, we got to add to them and bring them back into the picture for this upper part. So I'm going to bring this up in this area. So pretty much we've got resistance. Move this down a little bit. All the way up here, we've got the 200-day. We've got this monthly key level up here. We could actually call this a weekly level. So I'm going to bring this up right here. So this is really the next level, unless we start to reject here, because we're obviously testing this monthly resistance level right now. Unless we just start to wick hard right here and fall from this level, this is the next area all the way up here that we're looking to test. So let's just go down to the weekly time frame. Weekly broke the 200-day right here. So obviously very bullish on the weekly time frame. Down to the daily. Again, very much bullish, guys. And then down to the 4-hour, because we're trying to find a time frame where we see a trend. So 4-hour time frame, we could see we had this high, this pullback to a higher low, and we pushed up to this new high, pulled back, formed this higher low, pushed up, pulled back, formed this higher low. So this is the clearest time frame right now that we can very clearly see a trend. If we go all the way down to the 1-hour even, again, we're just seeing these highs, higher low, high, higher low, high, higher low, high, higher low. So when would we look to enter again on this, guys? We would need a deeper pullback than one right here. And this would correlate well with DXY as well. So if DXY continues to fall, this thing will continue to push up. So we're going to look for another upward target on this. So I'm just going to mark this off. We've got 1 hour right here. Each one right there. We've got the fib here to this high. So we've got this ultimately is our last level of support right here. This we got a demand zone all the way down here. So I'll draw that out for you guys too. This is just another form of confirmation at the bottom here. So we've got demand zone down here, and then we've got up in this area, we do have a support and resistance level. So I'm just going to mark this off as a random line. And I'm basing this off of, we've got resistance here. And then we've obviously got support right there. So an aggressive entry would be to enter a buy off of this level because we've got support here in 38.2. And then a less aggressive entry would be if we wait for a deeper retracement down into these levels and then do a buy down in this area. So that's NZD USD, guys, waiting for another potential buy opportunity. And I'll drop this analysis in the chat. Let's go up to UCAD. Let's bump all the way up to the monthly. And I'm just going to take this off. Take some more things off. Okay, so monthly time frame on UCAD, we've been falling ever since March. So this thing has been super bearish. Moving averages just crossed. We're forming this evening star. So pretty bearish on this pair right now. All the way down to the weekly. We've been kind of hesitant around this level because we've been hitting support here. So we hit support here, hit support here, hit support here, flew up to the upside. And even looking farther back, resistance here, support here, resistance all along this area, support here. So this is definitely a key level right now. Where this bearish engulfing right here tells me that more sellers are in the market at the moment. As we bump down to the daily time frame. So daily time frame is, again, very similar to USEF, guys. It's just bearish all the way. So we had 618 hit, came down, 50% hit, came down. Now we're breaking this 0% level right now. We're right around this area. I'm going to move to the 4-hour time frame and just look at structure on this time frame. So delete that in the fib from this high to this low. So we came up, hit 61.8. Now we're obviously just pushing down, pushing down. We just hit 38.2 and pushed down. So this is just, we're bearish on the 4-hour, bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly. We're bearish on pretty much every single time frame, guys. So the best thing to do now would be to just look for, pretty much just look for entries on the 1-hour and on the 30-minute. You can see the 1-hour has been in a very steady downward trend. So this is really where we're going to try to get in on an entry on this. We can see we're pulling back a little bit right now. So this is going to be a potential entry. If we pull back into our weekly zone, use this as some resistance right there, then we're going to look to short this. Very similar to all this, guys. We had this push down, this pull back, all the way up to this high point right here. Then we started to get entry opportunities. We pushed back into this level, pulled back. This was the entry on this one, pulled all the way back. Another entry on this one, ended up actually pushing lower, pulled back, entry right here. So I'm just going to highlight. These are all potential moves because these are all the lower high points in the market. So we had all these points previously that were established as lower high points, and they're rejecting this 200-day, at least right here. Then we have this one. These are all potential entries on this. So we're going to look for something very similar on UCAD. I'm going to push this one up right here, and I will drop this in the premium analysis for you guys. So I'll update this one in here as well, looking for potential opportunity on that. Let's go to GU. All right, so let's bump up to the weekly time frame on GU. So this pair is at these high points right now. We've been testing these so many times and rejecting them. So as we see previously, rejected this level, rejected this level, rejected this level, and now we're coming back above this level again. So buyers are definitely in control at the moment. I had drawn this supply zone last week. So let's just break this down to the daily time frame. So last week, we were down here. You know, we opened the week very bullish. We were anticipating a push into the zone. If you check the analysis early in the week, we were anticipating us to push into the zone. This is where more sellers are at. So this is where I'm looking for a potential reversal on GU. I will not buy GU until we break above this demand zone. Once we break above this demand zone retest, that's what I'm going to start to look to buy on this. And then where am I going to look to sell on GU? So this is forming, I'm just going to hit the 1 hour. This is forming some good structure on the 1 hour time frame. So we pushed to this high, pulled back. This is our higher low point. And then we started forming these lower highs. So I'm just going to mark this. These are two levels that were met. This is our support right now on the 1 hour time frame. In order to short this, we need to break this level. And that is when we're going to look for our first short opportunity. So GU is rejecting this upper zone really hard right now. Until these levels are broken on the 1 hour, this thing certainly is still in this bullish trend. You know, it's still above the 200-day, 4 hour time frame. It's just at this high point right now, so it's bullish on this time frame, bullish on the daily, and up to the weekly time frame. You know, what we're basing this on is we're just looking at these high points. This hasn't been broken since, hasn't been above here since July or June of 2018. So we are seeing if GU will reject this level again. It is very likely that it will, but we got to wait for actual price action to shift and change for us to get in on the new trend. So that's GU. Going to be waiting a little bit more on this one. So I'm going to leave this one as red. Now let's go over to EU. So I believe on Sunday, this is where, what is today? November 25th. We had Sunday. We basically were anticipating this. We're looking at this like we have this resistance level. We broke support here. We needed to come back up, retest this level all the way up here, shot a little bit higher than that level on the 1 hour time frame, but it did end up dumping a little bit here, came back into that weekly level. So let's bump up to a higher time frame and just get a look at what the hell is going on this one. So weekly time frame on EU, this thing is just consolidating at the top here. It very well could head higher, very well could head higher into this monthly level, you know, as what we're forming here, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing, you know, most recently bullish engulfing. So buyers currently are in control, at least on this weekly time frame. I've been saying that I'm not going to take buys until we get above this level. So we have this like 19500 level that we haven't closed above on the daily. So I would need a closure above this level on the daily before I actually take any buys. So with that in mind, very similar to GU, I'm kind of looking at these opposite of these other pairs. I'm looking for them to reverse at some point. So let's just look at the 4 hour time frame. Very much bullish, guys. So 4 hour time frame. I'm gonna go forward on this. Yeah, very much bullish right now. So we pushed up, retested this high right here. Obviously, large wick. So we're not trying to buy anything at the moment here. So at a minimum, all the way down to this 1 hour time frame, we are seeing structure is bullish. And by that, I mean we're forming this higher low, pushed up, had this higher low, broke, pushed back up. So structure just all over the place in this. So I'm just going to bump back up to the 4 hour. This is a little bit cleaner. 4 hour time frame, we've got this. This right here is our 4 hour level. So basically, until this level is broken, we are still in a buyer sentiment on the 4 hour, the daily, all the way up pretty much to the weekly. Weekly is still buying sentiment. So this is when we're going to look for sells once we break below this level. So at the moment, it's just buys, but I'm personally not going to buy until we get above this like 19300, this 19 level. So no trades really on EU right now. Again, if you did want to buy on this, then what would I do? I would buy on something, just buy on a higher low on the 30-minute time frame. So right now it's bullish on the 30-minute. We formed this high, pulled back, higher low, formed this high, pulled back. Now we're pulling back a little bit more right now. So where would I enter on this? Anything that closes above the moving averages right now, I would probably look for a long opportunity. I would target back into this level, but this isn't the most high probability trade right now. The confirmations aren't too good. So I'm going to just wait on this, and that's EU. So last, I'm going to go over GJ. Let's bump up. So GJ, this thing is moving actually really well. So let's go to the monthly time frame. We had mapped out this thing to go long on Sunday. It's playing out really well. So let's just look at the monthly time frame. We had came back into our weekly support level, had this doji candle. So that was telling me we could reverse off this level down to the weekly. Weekly time frame overall is bearish, but we were in this moving averages were crossed. We're in this like retracement right now. We talked about on Sunday that the sellers are sitting up at this level. So sellers are sitting up at resistance right here on the monthly and at this trend line at the 200-day. So there's no really resistance in this area right now. This thing will probably push up, continue to push higher. That's what our idea was. As we can see on the daily, we had a break of structure. So we broke this resistance, came back, and then we were retesting this level right here. So we had all these dojis, and then we had this bullish engulfing literally to end last week. So this is just a prime example of multiple confirmations, guys, in the market. We've got sentiment is bullish on the daily time frame, broke, made a new high. We have no resistance here, so we're anticipating price to head higher into these upper levels. And then we have this bullish engulfing right there. So pretty much, every time frame was telling us to take buys all the way down to this 1 hour time frame. Let's look at why and where we should potentially have entered on this. So I'm going to come up to the daily, and I'm just going to highlight. This is our bullish engulfing. This was on November 20th. So the end of the day, November 20th, that thing closed hella bullish, which is right here. And I'm just going to line off. So this was a resistance level right here. And this is what we're looking at. This daily bullish engulfing closed pretty much right here. So closed on this candle, closed very bullish. So we broke this resistance, pulled back, bullish engulfing right there. This is our first entry opportunity, kind of just a breakout. But that was at the end of last week, so we probably wouldn't have entered on that. And then to open this week, we had um, our next level that was being broken was pretty much all the way up here. So as you can see, we've got this 200-day, so we could use that. We had this resistance level all the way up here, not too pretty, but basically we had this break above the 200-day, this bullish engulfing pulled back, and then we had this bullish engulfing right here. So this was another example of just like a very aggressive entry on this because of how bullish we are, because it's bullish on so many time frames. Um, and then as you could see, this thing now, where are we? We're back up near these highs right now on this 4-hour time frame, daily time frame, retesting these highs. So for this thing to head higher, let's just mark down on the daily time frame. We've got, this is a level. I'm just going to take this off at the moment. So we've got this daily resistance level right now. The next entry on this, guys, is if we move above this level. So we would need to see price move above this level and form some sort of retest. And that is when we would look to buy again on GJ. So GJ, potential buy on this one today. So we'll look and see how that plays out. So just to recap, I did GJ, USEF, UCAD, NU, GU, and EU. And I'll drop all these in the premium analysis today in the group. If you guys want to get in on that, it's just $7 one-time fee. So yeah, I'm going to pass it over to Nick, and he's going to get into some more pairs here.
Perfect. Yeah, good analysis. That was a good amount of pairs, guys. Let me share here. Let me get into it. So yeah, we're just gonna do a light coverage on DXY again, and then jump into some other pairs. So here's DXY. But yeah, some good trades for the rest of the week. There's some setups there. Definitely some decent setups. Again, very influenced by DXY. We've been kind of just seeing the rest of the market react on this bearishness that we've been seeing. So overall, we're on the daily time frame here, very bearish. We can go right to the 4-hour and just reiterate what Angelo was saying, how we're just expecting more bearishness. Nothing here really is saying that the bulls are going to take over. Clearly, the bears are in charge here. We're pushing lower. We're outside of this range. We're below 1-hour structure. So very much bearish until we see some sort of bullish confirmation above that 1-hour. So we're going to look for price action to drop a little bit lower, closer to our monthly around at 91.5. All right. So with that in mind, we can then go on to some actual pairs and start looking at trade scenarios. So first one we're going to cover is AU. Let's start on the daily time frame and just go over the overall sentiment, where price action's been, how it reacted during Corona, and what we can expect going forward. So we can clearly see that we were bearish for quite a while, steadily bearish, breaking through support, forming lower highs, lower lows for quite a while. Then Corona happened, and it kind of just accelerated this trend in the sense that we saw a huge bearish leg blow through some major support levels, found support down at our monthly at 0.58, came right back, sharp correction, pulled back all the way to this lower high right at our weekly and monthly zone. And then it kind of blew through this level. That gave us our weekly transition. So weekly break of structure. We're now bullish on the weekly time frame. And then we just kind of maintained the trend after the break. Started getting some higher lows, nice ascending channel. Finally broke a higher low on the daily, gave us our daily break of structure. So it was short-term bearish in the daily while bullish in the weekly, and it was just ranging between these two zones. Finally took off on some election news, and now is resuming the overall bullish trend. So we can now drop down to the 4-hour, get a closer look. However, this is now just a daily level. So the daily is bullish, the weekly is bullish, and we're definitely bullish overall on AU right now. So here we are on the 4-hour. We've recently had the break back above this daily, confirmed it with a higher low right here. Boom. And then we started forming this ascending triangle. So it hasn't formed structure yet. That's the only thing that we really want to see to confirm a nice trade. I mean, right now we're fibbing from this low to this high. We have this ascending triangle. I'd like for it to pull back to the 38.2. Ideally, we always want to find structure. So like this would be a nice buy opportunity. something like that. Looking for buys down here. That would be nice, off some structure. Get rid of this, there you go. You'd buy somewhere down here. However, this does look like it's breaking to the upside. We just broke through resistance. Now we're testing, looking for some sort of higher low on a 1 hour. If you take a look here, we're looking to find some footing here and then find some conviction candles that you could potentially, go long on, waiting for this bullish leg to kind of just play out here and develop. So there could be a nice long opportunity on AU very soon. If we see a nice bullish variation, you could take a trade on an MA cross, to be totally honest, and it would be something like this. So we want to see price action close with some good conviction above these MAs. Your stop loss would be below support, looking at like 40 pips. And then we're going to target the negative 27 fib level, just about 100 pips. And we find ourselves just over 2.6 risk reward. So let's go back to the 4 hour, check our targets, see if this makes sense. And to me, it does. I mean, if this is truly the higher low above this resistance, finally it broke, right? Now this thing is just going to get ready to run. And this lines up very well with DXY. If DXY continues to kind of push lower and ride on this momentum, which it looks like it is, we're getting an engulfing right now on this 4 hour. We have 2.5 hours to close, so it's almost halfway through the 4 hour candle. So if that continues, we should see AU to continue to rally, right? So we can get a nice long opportunity on that 1 hour confirmation that we just covered, and get a nice little trade into a negative fib level. So that's what we're looking at right now on AU. This one's damn close to entry, so guys, stay aware in premium analysis. I'll be posting this immediately after. I know we've been covering AU quite a bit in here. Where'd it go? In premium analysis, yeah, we've been covering AU quite a bit. We did capture this little long opportunity recently. This is that descending triangle that we're talking about. It's a 1 hour time frame. We're expecting it to go bullish again. It did, and it kind of blew through that level on that rally. So looking to continue the same thing, right? Get in on that higher low and we're long. But also, if it does break back below into the triangle, wait for structure to form. This is more than the move that will be more likely if we see it pull back. All right. So yeah, that's AU. Not bad. Looking pretty good. But yeah, this is going to be a nice trade. AU's been paying out, guys. Tons and tons of long opportunities. I think I've bought this like I've had 4 trades in the last 2 weeks on AU alone or something like that. Good movement on AU. But anyway, AJ's our next pair. Let's jump up to the daily. Do the same exact thing. Just want to understand sentiment on the daily, and then we'll work our way down. So price action was very bearish for quite a while, just like AU, steadily bearish. Lower lows, lower highs, breaking through support. Then Corona hit, accelerated the trend. Huge bearish leg, blowing through 2 support levels, finding support at 63 flat, pulls back immediately, all the way back up to the prior lower high, breaks the lower high, gives us our first weekly break of structure. So the weekly is bullish, and then it rallies right to the monthly again, tries to break through, doesn't give us the higher low we need to see. Instead, it pulls back, gives us our daily transition, forms a bearish channel, and then tests the weekly break again, then goes bullish on election news, and then forms a flag. So we're going to drop down to this bit of price action where this bearish channel is and where this bullish flag is. So let's drop down to the 4 hour, get a closer look. Okay, here's that bearish channel. Right, so price action formed a bearish channel, went short-term bearish on the daily, found some footing down here near our weekly, goes bullish on some election news, breaks through these lower highs, and breaks out of the descending channel, and just goes bullish. So we see a flag, the flag completes, price action breaks to the upside. We are now breaking through our monthly and then retesting. So right now we're going to drop to the 1 hour, get a closer look even, because we're getting pretty close to entry, it looks like. We got to break out on the flag. We got a fib level thrown on here. We fib from the breakout, conviction candle to the high. And now we are pretty much waiting for structure to form. So we just hit the 38.2, which is good. Now we're consolidating. So what I want to see here is a little bit more consolidation, then a push through the MAs on some sort of bullish variation. So bullish engulfing, 3 strong bullish candles in a row. Something like that is what we want to see. And then we could take a nice buy opportunity pretty much off of this. Anywhere in here we see rejection, nice confirming, MA cross and so on, that could be a long opportunity that we're going to target higher towards our negative 27 fib level. This is what the trade would look like. Just about 80 pips. Stop loss would be relatively tight. This one's looking pretty big. So let's call it 20 pips. 20 pips to get 80. We're pretty much at a 4-to-1 risk to reward. So this could be a massive trade on AJ here. So we'll be aware. Stay aware on this one. This one's going to be dropped in premium analysis as well. I'm expecting AU and AJ, if they do execute relatively at the same time, or at least in the same session. So this could be something pretty big. However, if it does pull back below this monthly zone, just expect price action to come test this 4-hour zone again. This 4-hour break, and then we'll then reanalyze and identify new trade scenarios. So yeah, this is AJ. I mean, super bullish, guys. Maybe we'll get a nice little break, retest, get that nice structure formation, and then we're long again on some nice setups. So definite possibility. We'll see though. However, so guys, this week, all right, so with trading, we know that all holidays, volume usually dies down. People step away from the markets. They're not really that active. Same is true with Thanksgiving. However, it's not as extreme as, Christmas, let's say. That holiday, the volume is extremely low, particularly low. And there's pretty much nobody trading. Thanksgiving, the market will still be active, but not normal market conditions. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you do see a good setup today, preferably earlier in the day, take the trade. You don't have to worry about volume that much. But as the day gets closer to the end, as we get into closer to tomorrow, the volume will start to die off, guys. So don't get stuck in a trade that's going sideways. Just be aware of that. Volume will typically be lower on holidays. So expect that for tomorrow. But anyway, so we wrapped up on AJ here. What was I saying? Again, this is going to be posted in premium analysis. Let's move on to our next pair, UJ. Then we're going to get into EJ and gold. So UJ is looking pretty interesting as well. We're going to start on the daily to start, but it's in a good spot right now. Again, as expected, very correlated with DXY. If you see DXY drop, you'll see UJ drop to some degree as well. All right, so we're on the daily time frame. Overall, it's been very bearish for quite a while. I mean, just in this giant descending triangle alone, this dates back to 2016. So very bearish, as we know. Lots of lower highs. Key support is 104.5, kind of just like that magic zone that we've been talking about for months now. But yeah, so key support is there. Tons and tons of lower highs. But we've been getting a lot of bearish movement lately, specifically. Lots of lower lows, lots of lower highs, pretty steep channels. So, maybe we're getting ready to break to the downside, but we have the overall sentiment in mind. So let's drop to the 4-hour, get a closer look at price action and see what's going on around this 104.5 handle. All right, so here we are, 4-hour time frame. Again, still very bearish. We had a major transition recently once we broke through 106 flat. Comes down, tests 104.5, pulls back immediately, gives us the head and shoulders, makes another push to the downside. We got a huge break of 104.5 recently, and then price action dropped all the way down to 103.2, pulled back on election news, gave us a false break to the upside, gave us a failed pattern, then pulled right back below our 4-hour. So we went bearish once again, which brings us to where we are now. So after this false breakout, we got to push back below this 4-hour, break structure, right? So that's now valid. We're then bearish on the 4-hour again, bearish on the 1-hour again. We get a perfect transition, pushes through the MAs, retest, rejects the MAs, and resistance, then pushes lower again. Finds a low down around 103.7, flat lines, pulls back through the MAs, which is perfect because we really wanted to see structure. This is not the strongest breakout, right? Not the strongest bearish leg. A little bit of choppiness in there, not the greatest volume. So we really wanted to see structure. I was not convinced that this is the true, push. This is not the break of 104.5. It just didn't seem like it. Needed more conviction. We needed a pullback. We needed structure, followed by a nice lower high below 104.5, which leads us to where we are now, right? We got the pullback, form structure to 61.8. We're rejecting 104.5. The 200 EMA is there. So there's tons and tons of confluence. But could this be the lower high? We're literally a couple steps away from entering a decent trade here. We literally just want to see some sort of rejection, MA cross, bearish engulfings, some sort of strong bearish setups which we could take a damn entry on. Ideally here, I would like to see it engulfing through the 200, engulfing through the 200 would be perfect. I would then enter on that, go back to the 4-hour. Then I would target down towards the negative 27 fib level. So let me mark this trade up. I think this one is looking great. I mean, if DXY keeps sliding, this thing is definitely going to drop. So let's say our entry is going to be here
UJ?
somewhere. What's that?
UJ?
Yeah, it's looking nice.
This is looking good.
Right, pretty clean. Classic break retest, enter after structure formation, continuation to the downside. All right, so this one is going to be probably like this, just over 2 to 1. Right, what are we at? Over 2 to 5, or 2.5 to 1. So probably gonna be like 35 pips, maybe 40 pips if you want to be a little more conservative. Looking to get just over 80, 90. So it fits the risk reward, guys. This will be a good trade. And yeah, I look forward to this one. I always like trading UJ once the setup's there. I mean, it moves well. If this thing has the volume and steps in, this could be a really nice short. However, not sure if it'll play out today. We'll see. Again, it all depends on DXY. So things could just go sideways for the rest of the week. Then we'll have to pick things up on Monday next week. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, this has the potential to drop all the way down to negative 61 as well. That's our next major level of support at 103 flat. We go to the daily, you can see, right? Next level of key support right there. Whoops. All right, so yeah, that's what we're looking at right now on UJ, waiting for this short. If this were to go long, right? If we were to start considering long positions, what would need to happen for that kind of thought process? We need a break of this 4-hour, at least in my opinion, just because of how bearish UJ has been. I really just, nothing here. I'm not interested in buying UJ until I see something very significant happen. And for me, that would be a break of this 4-hour with a confirmed higher low. Then I would look at comfortably look at long opportunities. But yeah, we're just so far away. So this is the best prospect right now. This little scenario right here. All right. Next, we're going to cover EJ and then wrap it up with gold. EJ is looking pretty clean too. I actually like where it's at. Let's go to the daily to start. Overall, guys, super bearish. I mean, this is a giant descending channel. We broke out of that channel over here once we got this huge rally, right? EJ blew right through that, gave us a higher low, broke these lower highs, gave us that weekly break of structure. So now we are bullish on the weekly. And then it continued to rally right into our monthly zone up here around 126.5, then reversed, gave us this bearish channel, dropped a little bit lower, hit this 200, and then went bullish again. And now we're kind of ranging between daily break of structure and this 4 hours. So let's just drop down, get a closer look at this bit of price action and see what's happening. So here's that reversal from the monthly. Nice bearish channel that formed. Good amount of ranging happening again between, 123 and 120. What is this? 125 basically 125. So yeah, lots of ranging. We should drop down to the 1 hour here, get a closer look at this, kind of just see what's happening, because we did have a fake breakout to the downside. Like it pushed lower, couldn't really develop that lower high, then form another bearish leg. Instead of just pulled back on some news, projected the daily, kind of just went sideways for a minute, dropped back down, test the bottom of the range, gave us a double bottom, broke 4-hour structure and pushed higher. So it's definitely bullish on the 4 hour, right? Definitely bullish on the 4 hour. This is a higher low, this is a low. We're breaking 4-hour levels here, lower highs anyway. So we're definitely bullish on the 4 hour. We could identify some trade scenarios based on that. But just for the daily move, guys, you really want to wait for a break of the range. So just covering the daily time frame, we want to see a break of this resistance here to then enter along and target towards this monthly, fill that next range, or wait for a break of this support down here with a confirmed lower high to then make that next lower low. Okay, so that's what the daily scenarios are looking like. However, we can drop down to the 1 hour and take a look at this push specifically, because again, it's bullish on the 4 hour. So we're really looking to just ride that 4-hour trend if there's a potential trade, scenario available. And right now there might be, because we just fibbed this push here. So it needs to form structure. That's the one thing. And we could form structure right here at 38.2, which is also, good confluence. We're going to test this broken support, broken resistance level, as well as the 38.2. If we get an MA cross with some bullish setups, that could be a nice long opportunity into the top of the range. Now, I know I don't recommend trading the range that often, but when there's a good setup, you can't really deny that. I'm not saying force the trade, but if the confirmations are there, take the trade. Best you could do is reduce some risk, maybe use half the normal position you would, but don't be afraid to take a position necessarily. Like this is a good trade. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. And no sweat either way. But I mean, this is well over 2 to 1. We're looking at 2.5 to 1. We got 25 pips to risk, over 64. So either way, the trade's there. The trade's there, and on this volume, I would feel pretty confident taking this. If we did get a perfect little setup here, a nice pullback, drop to the 38.2, maybe consolidation, but more importantly, bullish setup crossing the MAs, bullish variation to enter on, something like that. So yeah, this would look pretty good. This would be a really nice little trade on EJ here. It's been a while. I'm just waiting for this to develop and form normal market conditions. But yeah, so this would be the short-term trade, nice little long into the daily resistance, and then you would wait for the larger move to play out, which would be this here. This break of resistance, above this daily right here, and then a higher low above 125. That would be ideal, just above this zone here. And then we could take the same scenario, entering then on this higher low, targeting a much larger, range, larger target. So that's EJ, guys. Definitely interesting one. Looking long, looking bullish on EJ for that, for short term. All right, so let's wrap this up with gold, a fun one. Daily time frame to start. Super bullish, super bullish. Been bullish for a while, guys. Had some crazy volume step in during Corona. It's kind of what triggered the break of 1800. Shot straight to 2070, and then pulled back, starting forming some patterns, descending triangle, breaking that, turning bearish on the daily, pushing lower, forming structure, hitting major support levels. So a lot's been happening. It's definitely just been falling back after this rally. We are back at 1800, which was expected. But what we can do now is kind of drop to the 4-hour, see what's going on in the lower time frames, and see if we can identify some potential trade scenarios anyway. So here we are on the 4-hour. We were ranging in this area between 1930 as resistance, 1875 as support for quite a while. Couldn't really get a true breakout anywhere until recently. We had this little pop below 1875, comes back, forms structure, pulls back through the MAs, then crosses the MAs, gives us the bullish variation, and then gives us the dump of all dumps, straight down to 1800. So this was a massive trade. I mean, this was in analysis. This random line here was before this dump happened. Or not random line. This trade path was here before this dump. So we were definitely expecting this. Good analysis. It played out well. I didn't personally get to catch this trade, but if any of you did, based on the analysis, congratulations. This was a good dump. Always nice to see a good gold trade play out. But what do we do now? We have to clean up this chart a little bit. We could refib from the conviction candle, high to the low, see where we're at. But we pretty much just have to answer one question. Is this going to continue bearish, or is it going to reverse? And again, this is going to be very dependent on what DXY does. If DXY starts to drop a little more, we should see gold come back a little bit. If we see DXY push up a good amount, we should see gold continue to drop a little bit. So this is what could happen. Let's see DXY pushes lower to find support. We'll see gold pull back, right? And then DXY continues with the bearish trend, or with the bullish trend rather. Then we'll see DXY start to drop. So like this is key support, right? Key resistance right here, pretty much at 1860. The max, in my opinion, that gold could pull back to and still be bearish, because it's going to test structure here. There's just a lot of confluence here that I would want to see price action react from. And if it didn't react here after it did pull back, I wouldn't really consider shorts. Kind of just blew through it, obviously. But this is the area where you really want to see a ton of rejection. So I'd be pretty comfortable taking any position in here after we see rejection from this zone, this yellow zone, and then enter after that MA cross on a bullish bearish variation. So yeah, that'd be a great short. That'd be a really, really nice short. I didn't realize how close of a head and shoulders this pattern was until just now. Just more confirmation supporting that drop. But yeah, gold's looking pretty good. I definitely think this pullback could come. So yeah, if this goes up, DXY, wow, didn't really do that. So yeah, if price action on gold pulls back, DXY is dropping. If gold begins to drop, gold's on its way. The dollar's on its way up, relatively. So yeah, looking pretty interesting on gold. Other than that, guys, I'm not looking at any long opportunities. I'm not going to buy this. I don't have any interest in buying this. For those of you that want to scalp or counter trend trade, be my guest. But for me to go long on this, I would, obviously take the more conservative approach and wait for this 4-hour zone to break. Just like this right here. Boom, nice little transition. Enter on a higher low potentially, depending on how it forms. But yeah, I'm not looking at anything long until at least this 4-hour zone is broken. And then I'll reanalyze, come up with trade scenarios and so on. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I mean, quick recap. Did DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. So guys, stay aware in premium analysis. I'm about to drop, both of us actually are about to drop all these updated ones that are close to pretty close to entry in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's another live trading session, guys.
Yep. Another live session. Let me just share my screen.
USD news came out negative. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Oh. All right, guys. So few people in here. A few people are gonna watch the replay. We're just gonna announce we got our Black Friday sale. So there's about a few spots left right now. Everything's included, as always, in this. All of our videos that are updated, signals, one-on-one training, trading plan. Everything here is included along with this trade copier. So this is our newest thing, the trade copier. I've been posting some details about it. More updates will be posted in the chat, but basically it's just a fully automated signal service. You guys just set up your accounts and you don't have to touch anything. The trades will get taken on your account for you. And that's pretty much it. So the details about this are being posted in the chat all over the place. So we're going to get more updates out for you guys with that. And then for the live sessions, we're just going to start doing them Wednesdays. We're still going to have one free live session. And then we're going to start to do some different things, probably starting next week. So just check out with the chats. Like Nick said, holiday week this week, so a little bit slow this week with everything going on with the trades and everything, which is okay. But just check the chat for the updates, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll keep you guys updated. We'll get this posted on YouTube in a little bit, and we'll see you guys on the next live session, which currently is on Sunday. So the next free live session is going to be on Sunday. If you're interested in any of these, just shoot me a message after this, and obviously we appreciate your guys' support as always.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Enjoy the holiday, and yeah, we'll see you in the community.
Yes, sir. See you guys later. Have a good day. Peace.